Erin was just a bubbly young child. She was great. Her mom called her sunshine. She just was gregarious, outgoing, and just a great kid. And as she got towards 15, she was playing sports, fast pitch softball, basketball, and really having a great time. And she fell ill. She, in the mornings, would wake up and have an upset stomach, and that progressed until we eventually took her to the doctor, did a blood test, saw that one of the tests was a little off. One thing led to another, and we found out that she had liver cancer. After all the tests were completed and it was time to let Erin know what the prognosis was from her tests, we invited our family priest over and spent some time with Erin to let her know that she had liver cancer. She was very, very quiet. You know how teenagers are. They really are quite thoughtful, but also quite to themselves.
She started out as a typical teenager who was very, at first, sort of down in the dumps, sort of very depressed, I think, in the very beginning when she first heard, and tried to figure out how does she wrap herself around what's been handed to her and go on. And within about 2 months, she was able to determine that she was going to fight, and she wanted to live, and she wanted to enjoy life, and she taught us so much during that time.
Erin was always given a low percentage of survivability. It was in the neighborhood of 25%, even when she started at Children's Hospital.
So we worked really very hard to do everything we could to keep her spirits up through her treatment, which was very, very difficult on her. She went through a lot of very hard chemotherapy and ended up having a liver transplant.
We had to search nationwide to do that, and we flew to Los Angeles to get it. But eventually, after the transplant, the cancer came back and Erin passed away.
Ultimately, when she started to realize she wasn't winning her battle, was when we started to have a lot of hard talks about you know, what was going to be the next steps. And I sat with her several days and tried to start writing for her, because she had kept a little journal, and I knew she was too sick at that point to do it. So I asked her what she wanted me to write down, and she started to say a few things, and she stopped and she says, "Mom, you know my life. I don't need to tell you what it's been." And that was when I decided it was time to switch gears, and I said, "Well, then how do you want us to remember you? What's most important to you?"
We could see that you know, Erin really loved the little kids and really hated when the little ones, you know, were getting chemo and crying, and it just broke her heart.
She asked me if we could make it our mission to help other children who were in difficult times, children like her, children like she saw at the hospital, children that were just going through any type of suffering within their lives and their family.
So what we're trying to do is to advocate for children, especially those kids that have been stricken with grief, as our older children were, or those that are actually going through cancer.
We had many avenues to think about how could we best offer our services.
We've been working for many years now with radiothons, with Celebrity Waiters Dinner.
And we support the Moyer Foundation in conjunction with the Fred Hutch for the Catch of Cure for cancer every year.
Our goal is to raise funds for research to be able to detect cancer.
There's too many young people that are fighting this disease and fighting hard and not making it.
My personal goal is to be able to do a blood test, and as simple as a blood test, and really know if things are going awry.
During this illness, she had a chance to take a Make-A-Wish trip, and that was when she met Karen and Jamie Moyer.
We were on a walkathon for transplantation, and the Moyers told us that they were creating this foundation.
They wanted to start a bereavement camp, and they asked us if we would mind if they named it after Erin.
Camp Erin. And so we were very excited about that.
Well, I think I probably burst into tears at that point, but we were very flattered and we were very honored that they would want to do something like that. And to me, it was very clear that she had made quite an impact on both of them and their mission to help children. to me, I thought, what better way than to fulfill her wish?
And so every year we attend all of these camps, and one of the things we do is tell Erin's story.
There are plenty of people who've had many hardships in their lives, and many who've gone through far worse than what we've been through. But I think Jerry is the kind of person who's optimistic by nature. He can turn my attitude around if I'm having a bad day. And for him, there isn't another way to get through some of the obstacles and trials that we've had to endure.
Even though in this event, and this was very, very tragic and very, very difficult, there were blessings along the way. The blessing of going to make a wish trip, the blessing of meeting the Moyers, the blessing of people helping out and just putting a smile and having a good day was a blessing in itself.
He says we had a choice when Erin died. We could have either gone into a dark room, or we could have decided to continue to keep her memory alive and kind of walking towards the light and towards trying to find good.
So you've got the choice of going into this deep, dark hole of despair, or the choice of going into the light. And the light for us is in service. And that's why we feel so strongly about giving back. And there's no one way to make a difference in your community.